Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy new moon. New moon, Aries. All right. How's this energy been hitting you? This is going to be a wild weekend from what I understand. So we're going to take a look at quick readings today. It's just the quick before the weekend starts. And on Sunday, I'll have the forecast up for you. So let's kind of, let's see what's going on here. Let me lower this down a little bit. I'm trying to work with my screen here. Give me 1 second. I got too many things up here. All right. Hello. I will be doing super chats after this. So keep that in mind, that super chats will be after Pisces. If you want to read in, that'll work. All right, I got the time. I want to be able to see the time so I can do timestamps. That's what my deal is right now, guys. Just give me a second. I'll start Aries at 2:22. I'm trying to make it so I'm more efficient here. And it's not quite working. All right. Oh, I see. Hello, Gigi, Bernadette. Hello, Tony, Lori, Ativia, Angel. What's up? Sade, Randy, and Carissa, Lisa. All right, Erica. You guys are awesome. Let's get into this. There will be super chats. I have 2 signed up so far. I'm doing it this way because I don't know how much longer I'm going to do them, but on Mondays and Fridays, I will have super chats at the end. So jump on in. There's only a few. I'll do a few and then out for the weekend. All right. So hello, Hannah. What's up? All right, guys, I am set. So I'm going to shuffle. I got to get my head together. I've been excited actually to do this live today because I'm actually really excited for this weekend. And I hope you guys are too. Aries, 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 Aries. Let me get a good shuffle, clear the deck. I hope everybody's having a great time so far. And hopefully you guys have good plans for the weekend. Aries, this is still your birthday, so happy birthday to Aries. It'll be Taurus's birthday Sunday, but we got to let you hold the torch till Sunday. Now, I'm sure right now you could be exhausted. You're being pulled. You have a lot of energy right now. There's so much going on in your sign that you're kind of running at maximum capacity, right? So you may feel restless. You may feel, tired, pulled, and I have the 7 of Pentacles, I have the 7 of Wands, and I have the King of Swords. So this weekend, there could be a conversation with somebody that may have pulled away their energy a little bit, right? But it's an unavoidable conversation. I feel like Sunday is going to be the most powerful day. 7 of Wands, right? It's like standing your ground, defending yourself. Somebody could be defending themselves to you. Maybe the 7 of Pentacles. Where are we going? Where's things going? We need a plan here, make plans. And so I feel like Aries, you're being asked to, assert, step up, and not be afraid to speak your mind to somebody, especially if it's about future plans this weekend, because it looks like you're feeling kind of stagnant in one way, but you have all this energy and want to move in another way. Because the King of Swords is saying you're starting to see the bigger picture and you're wanting things to change in your life or a direction to change in your life, right? So be ready. The energy for you, you're going to have to ground yourself, keep your boundaries this weekend, a conversation around truth. Don't force anything, but, there definitely could be, something that somebody wants to get off their chest, clarity and a direction. So you're coming out of this weekend, hopefully with honest communication and clear direction. Now, know that the 7 of Wands and the King of Swords tells me that the person you might be dealing with could be a little bit closed off at times, hard to deal with. They challenge you, they test you, they seem to keep their walls up at times. But don't let this hold you back. It's telling me too for you, if you've got something to say, really don't hold back this weekend, but just make sure you're grounded when you say it. All right. So I am seeing there's going to be, I feel like this week, there's a lot happening that a lot of people are going to get this. There's no middle ground this weekend. It is a yes or a no kind of energy for you, Aries. All right. So let's see. We're moving on to Taurus. Remember, these are just quick ones for the weekend. And all right, Taurus. This weekend for Taurus. All right, this whole month, all this Aries energy is, to me, it feels like, I said this the other day, Taurus, this is a relaxing, you know, rest up, get ready. You're gearing up for your season. It's your birthday on Sunday. So those of you who have a Sunday birthday, happy birthday. And, you know, so you're closing a lot of chapters right now for the year, right? Everything goes in cycles, you know, so you should be resting and, you know, and not taking on other people's problems, kind of finishing up on things. And your time to shine is coming in. I see a King of Cups. So this is kind of calmness, healing, relaxing, chilling. But there could be a person, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, somebody that you're also having maybe a deep conversation with this weekend, or you're connecting on an emotional level. You have the Sun card, you have the Star card showing up, and you have the Four Swords. This is your message. Relax, all right? Your new solar year is coming in. The Tower is over for you. If you've been going through some big revelation, a lot of upheavals in your life, arguments, feels like a lot of pressure. Maybe you've been hit with a lot of things at once. Things have been, you know, unexpected. I mean, this whole chapter is closing for you. Yes, you guys have been getting that star a lot, and now you're getting the sun, which is your birthday season, your solar return. So if the last year or the past 7 years for you have been very disruptive, think in your life, where has it been the most disruptive for you? Whether it was family life, love life, finances, you name it, that chapter is coming to a close for you. And this next year is the star energy. So it's like reaping what, you know, it's like reaping what you've worked so hard to, reaping what you sow, and I guess away, or return of investment, or you're seeing the light and seeing why so many things had to clear out of your life, because this whole next chapter for you is going to be completely different. So you are getting this Four Swords energy for you this weekend, which is give yourself time to rest this weekend. All right, don't waste it by forcing things or trying to get stuff done, or, you know, worrying about things. And Phoenix time, I love it, right? So you have a lot of beautiful energy. I am seeing get out, you know, spend some time, do something fun. You know, you could get conversation with somebody that feels very heartwarming. Somebody may be falling in love this weekend. Somebody could, some clarity, truth that, you know, you've been waiting for a while. The Star card is saying something's going to make you feel pretty happy this weekend. But remember, if it's just a quiet weekend, this is you getting ready for your renewal, your reset period. All right. So don't stress if things are too quiet, if anybody pulls away from you. You have so much working for you right now. This is your time to just snuggle up, get a cup of tea, glass of wine, whatever it is, and watch your favorite show. That is your energy. I do see a person around you, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, so you may be sharing some quality time with somebody this weekend, or having a deep conversation, right? All right, Gemini. Let's see. 9. Gemini has been getting some crazy ones. Some crazy readings right now. It's been wild. Gemini, I love your energy right now. Get ready to be shaken up. Get ready. You are... All right, let me give it a minute. Let me shuffle before I get into the message. All right. All right. Gemini. This is going to be a weekend where you may have already started to feel the shift, but you're definitely going to feel a shift this weekend. Your mind, of course. Just try and stay in focus this weekend, staying present. You know, you could have a tendency to have an information overload, thinking about everything. I mean, this could be good stuff too, but you have a tendency to, you know, go above and beyond when it comes to mental activation and thoughts and processing. And so it's going to be trying to keep your head clear. Now, this could be awesome for you. I'm telling you right now, you may feel like, wow, finally everything's clear. Like I'm on point. I'm just seeing things, and I'm having all these ideas, all this energy coming in. I just can see through people. I'm mentally alert, and possibly even this is a phase that you're going into for quite some time that could really enhance your psychic abilities in a way too, like your ability to read through things and see things and know things before they even happen. So trust this energy, but also know it can be overwhelming, and you could get ahead of the gang, talk a lot, be overwhelming to other people. All right. I am seeing the Fool energy for you this week. So this Aries activation really working well for you. This is release energy, open up to new possibilities this weekend. You could end up going somewhere that you just weren't even thinking about, or you might hear from somebody and you didn't see it coming, right? So this is really like go with the flow type of energy this weekend. See where your curiosity leads you. Don't try to plan out everything the way it's supposed to be or how it's supposed to go down. Let things activate you this weekend, because I see something new happening. Whereas this can bring in an on again, off again type of relationship. Maybe you talk to somebody you haven't talked to in a few days, or something gets started again. Somebody initiates, you initiate. So you are getting a clean slate here. All right. So let's see what else I get for you for this weekend. You have the Sun, the Knight of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. So again, you're getting this energy of expressing yourself romantically. There could be a romantic date that could surprise you this weekend. Somebody may express their feelings to you. You might even meet somebody at work. There's the Three of Pentacles always tells me somebody that you hang out with, somebody that you talk to, a friend of a friend or a coworker, or somebody who does the same thing as you. You could be gathering somewhere, connecting with somebody this weekend. This is where I'm seeing be open to different plans that might happen. But you're seeing there could be something forming, even if it's the beginning stages. You might hear something from somebody. You might, somebody might tell you somebody's got feelings for you. So the Uranus energy that's going into your sign, what you think it's going to be something totally, totally, totally different, right? And I am seeing communication. I'm seeing getting out. Maybe it's a good day to get out and go do something fun. You're getting some sort of truth or clarity about a friendship this weekend too. And we do see here, maybe even around work, if some of you are working, somebody could be added to the team, or you might be finally figuring out or making a decision on some sort of get together or project as well. You might be going somewhere with a bunch of people. You have a really good weekend here too. So don't stay at home and hide from it. It seems like there's a lot of possibilities of some good times for you this weekend. The Sun brings in luck and money and romance. Keep that in mind, and opening your heart to new opportunities. All right, Cancer. Let's see Cancer's energy. All right, Cancer. This weekend, let's see what's going on for you this weekend. Remember, lots of unexpected things. I know you hear us say that a lot, readers and astrologers, but with the certain transits that's happening, and this kind of energy hasn't happened in our lifetime, you got to be prepared to speak your mind, demand what you want. Don't be afraid to, ask for what you need, call something out. Somebody may call you out. You may call somebody out. With the Seven of Wands here, this is, calling things the way they are, not being afraid to call it like it is. Are you getting what you need? Do you see yourself? Do you feel like you're getting what you need in a relationship? So you may be dealing with some challenges. This placement right now, with the energies that are going on, really are squaring you, causing you to have to defend yourself or step up or contain yourself, and create boundaries with certain people. So let's see what's going on this weekend. I see the Ace of Swords, I see the King of Wands, and I see the Strength card. All right. So the strength card, this is where, being strong and confident and having the courage to approach something that you may need to confront this weekend. The Ace of Swords is showing the need for clarity, communication, somebody reaching out. Let's get to the truth. Let's get to the bottom of it. I am seeing a fire sign show up for you this weekend. So it could be somebody with fire qualities. It doesn't have to be a Leo. It doesn't have to be an Aries or a Sag, but it's this energy that's pushing somebody to activate or react, right? But you have the Seven of Wands, which says, this might not be an easy conversation, or it might be one where you just need to take a different approach, because the Strength card says, this is something that challenges you. This is a person or a relationship, or even if it's just getting together with something, there's something about this relationship that may trigger some of your insecurities, and you're cutting through that this weekend. You're being asked to face your fear around this conversation, not being afraid to be yourself and just open up to the possibilities, right? Not underestimating yourself. There seems to be somebody, a king is showing up, right? So this is going to be one of these energies where if somebody's not worth it, or they're not showing up as kings and that's what you're looking for, they're going to cause you a lot of grief. If somebody's in your life and this is a valuable or an opportunity that you are wanting to pursue and it feels right, then it is confronting some sort of, question. It's confronting, some sort of situation. Can we reconcile? Can we just get the conversation started? Can we get somewhere? All right. But I am seeing that you are dealing with pride and ego with somebody. And so the containment, the Strength card is asking you maybe to be vulnerable, not be afraid to be vulnerable. You don't always have to be the strong one, or one, trying to wear this perfect mask, when people need to see what's really going on. So somebody may really need to hear your thoughts this week, right? And somebody also may be opening up and finally opening up their heart and expressing to you as well. So a weekend here, something very powerful, a very powerful truth coming through for you, maybe even a secret. All right. Don't forget, I'm doing super chats today, not on a separate live, but I'm doing it on this live stream. So if you want to get in on it, jump in, because I'm not waiting around. I'm just going to take who shows up and then I'm out, right? Because it's a beautiful day outside and I want to get out before it gets dark. All right, Leo. All right, Leo. All right, Leo. So this is a lot of fire energy too, right? So I'm sure you're feeling the fire. You're feeling the restless energy as well. You've been getting this all week from me. You want something. You want movement. You want expansion. You want to go somewhere. Your body, you got to move. Thank you, Ruby. And so Leo, I've been seeing that you're kind of pulling yourself out of a stressful time, right? Maybe something didn't work out the way you planned it to work out. But I'm seeing this weekend's going to be big for you. Realizing something, it keeps coming through all week, about love that's not true. All right. That maybe there's something you've been perceiving about yourself or a situation. And here it is, the Nine of Wands, this overwhelming, ongoing battle that you've been dealing with. And there's, to me, this breakthrough period. It's caused you a lot of grief, or you've caused yourself a lot of stress and grief around a situation. And we're seeing you're finally pushing through that, and maybe even realizing something you believed about a person or believed about the situation you're dealing with. It's a story that you created to protect yourself. This is the wounded warrior, all right? But you're going to realize that it may have been keeping you from the love that you really want and deserve, because you've been protecting yourself. But when we protect ourselves, we actually push people away, right? So this is what's breaking for you. You're going through some major healing, and as you're closing this cycle. So this weekend, 8 of Swords, the Moon card, and the Emperor. All right. So there could be kind of a mixed bag here for you this weekend. You know, these limiting beliefs, things might really surface for you. You're seeing a secret surface. You're seeing your fears surface. Somebody may tell you something that you didn't expect to hear. And the Emperor card is telling me that you're going to feel this, and it's going to be more positive. It's going to build you up, not break you down, right? It's going to make you feel more confident and ready to gear up and move forward. I feel like you're about to, and if it doesn't just happen this weekend, to me, it feels like what's playing out from this new moon as we move through this, next couple weeks, right? That the moon is really trying to highlight your fears that you have created, right? The Emperor card is you stepping up and finally realizing what's been holding you back. Now, there could be somebody also speaking some truth to you this weekend. What you think to be true is not going to turn out the way you think, all right? Somebody may have been doing something else. Somebody may not have realized how you were feeling about them. Somebody may tell you some truth about their own fears and feelings, right? But either way, you're ready for this. And I want to say for you guys who have been questioning love, it's like if you're still protecting yourselves, God's saying here, the only thing that's holding you back is your own fears and limiting beliefs. You're more ready than you realize. And this is the Emperor card, and letting emperors into your life, leading the way and choosing who is going to be in your life and who's not going to be in your life, right? Not based off of fears or insecurities. So this weekend, a revelation, maybe some inner truth, maybe some outer truth, somebody exposing something. You see a person coming in, maybe taking action, holding themselves accountable for something they said, right? I also see, if you're afraid to take action this weekend, it's really telling me here that the only thing holding you back is your own fears. Don't be afraid to take action this weekend. Trust yourself is what I have for you, Leo. You have a lot of fire energy. There could be a fire and Aries coming towards you too as well. Virgo. 23. These are going quick. All right. Thank you all for being here forever. What's up? And I just want to do a quick, shout out here. Thank you, Ruby, again. That was so sweet. I appreciate you. All right. Virgo. Virgos. Virgo been getting, Virgo, it's almost over, right? It's almost over. This South Node, all this crazy Virgo stuff, all this stuff happening for you in your 8th house. So this weekend, all right, truths around intimacy, your partner could come up, around finances could come up, things like that, really for you. So there's a lot of healing happening for Virgo too. But let's see this weekend. Try not to overthink this weekend, overplan, overdo things. You have the 9 of Pentacles, you have the Hierophant. All right, try not to be too rigid this weekend. Let's see, let me get 2 more. Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. All right, there's a new offer coming your way. It could start this weekend. I am seeing your energy, the 9 of Pentacles. This is your typical work, having everything in order, not being prepared for anything to, kind of shift for you. You have to know what's happening. You have to know what's going on next, plan everything. And the Hierophant is showing up. So sometimes this is really awesome about you. You have everything planned out, but you're being asked to try something different this weekend. Be very spontaneous. go somewhere. There could be somebody coming into your life if you choose to go somewhere new, if you choose to try something new. The Ace of Pentacles, a seed is being planted this weekend. I feel like the end of your solo days. If some of you have been single for a while, that's about to change. I have an Aries, Leo, Sag coming in. You may get some spontaneous message this weekend. And also, you may also realize you have more influence over a situation than you think. Maybe something has brought you down and you forgot who you are. But the Nine of Pentacles is telling me, like, you're at the top here. You're a top notch. You're available. You're looking good, successful. And somebody sees that. Somebody's attracted to you. And so if you've been second guessing that, you know, there's a turning point here. This is where the Ace of Pentacles, there's a fresh start coming in for some of you. That could always bring communication, and it can bring an invitation this weekend. So feeling a lot more confident. And I do want to say for some of you, maybe this is the turning point in a relationship where you actually are starting or connecting with somebody who is going to be your next relationship. So maybe you've already gotten through the hard times and this is it. You know, we're shaking hands. We're getting ready for this doorway to open. So be prepared for new beginnings this weekend with that Ace of Pentacles in all different areas of your life. There could even be a new job opportunity for some of you. Maybe you'll have the idea, if you've been stressing about money, hey, maybe I should do this, you know. So something is changing and you're seeing this energy work in your favor and bringing you a whole bunch of confidence. So as we go into the next week, you're going to be riding in on the Knight of Wands, right? And, you know, the Hierophant, let me say one more thing too here. You know, this is your commitments leveling up, right? So something you've been working really hard towards, you finally made it, sort of point, right? You've learned your lesson, you figured it out, you're mapping out a new plan, you've made it to some sort of level here in your healing energy and even in a relationship. So things may seem a lot different between you and another person. I couldn't just leave it there. All right, Libra. You're welcome, Gigi. Libra. Let's get a good shuffle. All right, Libra, a lot of relationship tug of war for you. On one hand, you're really, you know, this is the axis you're in, right? So on one hand, you really crave a relationship, you really want a relationship, but on the other hand, you know, you may be battling the people, challenged with the people that show up for you, or you're challenged with, you know, your independency, right? So it just seems like you've been kind of battling this lately. Are you ready? Do you really want this? You know, you may even be questioning the relationships you're already in. Is it equal? That's one of the biggest things. Is it equal? Do I feel like it's equal? Do I feel like this person gives me enough attention as much as I give them? Does it feel like this person, I'm as into them as they're into me? Does it feel right, right? So again, it's a lot of that questioning, and you have the Knight of Swords here, so I can see where this energy this weekend could really get you all over the place in your mind, right? You know, and this is getting lost in assumptions. So be careful what, don't jump in too quickly and assume something too quickly. Maybe pay attention to the reacting to something too quickly, or cutting somebody out too quickly. All right, because there is a lot of communication coming your way this weekend, and I feel like you're going to get bombarded with a bunch of truths why things have been a certain way. You know, maybe you've been questioning your relationships, and, you know, now you're maybe realizing that what you thought was going on, or what you thought the other person was thinking, is not true. You know, it was something that maybe you created in your head. But also too, you know, there is an air of defensiveness. You could be opposed by the people in your life this weekend where you feel like everybody's just challenging you, and you might be quick to just call it out, you know. So this is a huge moment for you though, right? So if something's not feeling right or something's not equal, I think it might even be you know, hard for you to even resist or to control yourself, not being able to call something out. And if it needs to be said, it needs to be said type of energy. So clarity, the clarity you're wanting. And look at this. Ooh, some truth coming up. You have the Seven of Swords and the Sun, and you have the Strength card. So hang on strong, you know, because sometimes, you know, the truth is the truth and you have to deal with the truth and you can't tiptoe around it anymore. Somebody may expose the truth. It looks as though the Sun card is saying, though, it's going to bring so much clarity. It'll make you happy, right? Sometimes, you know, the truth, though, you know, it's also saying the Strength card. Make sure you know, approach something, you know, gently, especially if somebody is trying to tell you the truth about something. You know, it may be asking you to have some boundaries here as well, too, you know, and just not overreact is what I'm getting, because the defensive energy, somebody could push your buttons, right? But I'm seeing some sort of truth or clarity around an intimate situation, around the way somebody feels about you. Whether it's a friendship or a romance, is going to make you feel a lot more confident. It's going to be what you need to feel stronger. And honestly, I feel like for some of you, it might be this truth that comes up might actually really heal some deeper wounds or thoughts that you may have had about a situation, right? You may have taken things personal. You could have been lying or, you know, blaming yourself or denying or not, or ignoring yourself, right? Or just telling yourself lies, which we tend to do about a situation. And this is going to change this weekend. There could even be new romance coming into your life, right? So the Sun card does open up opportunities. It says, have the courage to, you know, face your biggest fear, the Seven of Swords. You know, stop tiptoeing around and making excuses. Do what you got to do, you know, to make it happen. This is a new moon energy, and it's Aries, and it's telling you, tap into that energy and make shit happen this weekend, because you have a lot of great energy around you. This is a hell yes card. So if things don't feel like a hell yes, it's a hell no type of energy, right? But also it's a card of honesty. It's a card of growth. So a lot of healing and a lot of growth happening this weekend. All right, Scorpio. All right, let me get a good shuffle. Good morning, Lauren. You know, I forgot to say with Libra too that this is in your house of relationships. So the new moon in Aries is definitely the start of a new relationship. You know, this is going to be your season. So Scorpio, energy levels riding high. Good morning. All right, Scorpio, Scorpio. I hope you're feeling it, Scorpio, because you know, we're Mars ruled traditionally, right? Pluto and Mars, right? So, I mean, this Aries energy, this energy for you, I don't know. I feel like you got to get out there. You got to do something. You got to stay active. Get shit done. You know, if you've been ignoring something, get it done. This is the weekend to get it done. I know I got my list of, I need to get this shit done now. And also, you should be feeling pretty good, you know, physically. If not, right, that's what's saying you've got to look at what you're doing that you need to take action on. So I have the Hierophant, the Temperance, and I have the Five of Wands. All right, so for you this weekend, watch out for the energy, right? The tension, the 5 of Wands, challenges. You have a lot of energy, so you got to use it wisely. Pick your battles. The Temperance card is here, and the Hierophant. So you could easily be defending yourself, and you think, this is what I think. Be open to hearing somebody else's point of view this weekend. The Hierophant is showing up with you, and it tells me that you fight for what you believe in, right? Tooth and nail. Like, well, I don't even know if that's the saying, but you may fight for something and lose your patience over something and react over something that is not true again, right? But you're so caught up and convicted in your beliefs that you're being challenged this weekend to trust the energy and have more patience with this energy. So I would say, this is what's happening is you're on the right track, right? Something is breaking down for you. Pay attention to some challenges or confrontations that you may need to have with somebody, all right? There's definitely could be a shakeup in your routine. A lot of activity here, a lot that needs to get done. And this is going to be a weekend where if you've been chill and lax and not getting your responsibilities done, you're being asked right now, you got to break out and get that done this weekend. Now, when it comes to love here, we can level up and deepen a connection this weekend if you're willing to see somebody else believe. So you've got to listen to how somebody else sees something, right? They may challenge your beliefs. They may challenge you. And it feels like Spirit's saying, Scorpio, listen to what they're saying, because this can help you guys push through this, and you can get through this battle with somebody, this confrontation that you're having, and completely change the direction of this relationship. And you could level up, and it looks as though somebody is serious and wants to fight for this connection, but it's going to take balance, moderation, and patience with one another, and being able to see each other's side of things, right? It can't just be this weekend, I'm right, I know I'm right, because you're going to be challenged big time. All right, so be aware of confrontations or conflict or getting pulled into drama by other people. Be aware that there's a lot of energy here. Go do something that's active, and maintain some sort of balance. Try not to overdo things this weekend. You have Taurus and you have Sagittarius showing up for you. Sagittarius. Don't forget, I'm doing super chats right after this. I'm not stopping the live, so if you want to get on the list, go ahead. And if not, I'll see you on Monday. And Sunday, I'll have the 7-day forecast out for you. Sag is getting all the fire. I don't know, Sag, this is about you and fire and, love and, like I said, if you're not getting that spark, if you're not getting that passion, if you're not getting that joy, you're going to cause some trouble. You just have this energy is hyping you up. It's like Sagittarius times 10. So if you need freedom, if you want to explore, if you want to go somewhere, if things have been too mundane, too boring for you, too slow for you, this is going to be a weekend where get out of your way, or you might cause fights with people that you're trying to connect with. All right, so just be aware of that. If somebody's moving too slow, you're going to get irritated and it's going to stress you out. It doesn't mean it's going to break you up or anything, but it's really going to test your patience. There could be an earthy energy around you this weekend. I am seeing here, I pulled a 4, but look at this. I'm seeing the 4 of Wands and the 10 of Cups, but I'm seeing the Hanged Man. It feels like some of you are sick of being stuck at home, right? Or you're getting, sick of being stuck in a relationship. You don't know where something is going. This weekend, you will know, or this is the new moon Aries, so it can play out over the next week, right? Week or so. You're going to know if something's going somewhere or if something is not going somewhere at all. So you could have a sudden relationship form. You have the 10 of Cups. Somebody could make an offer to you this weekend that you did not expect. It comes out of nowhere. right? But you also, somebody could return, somebody could hang out, somebody could come over, right? But the bottom line is the Hanged Man. If you feel like it's going nowhere, if you're just like, your level of patience will not be able to tolerate it. And this is actually working for you, not against you. Because right now, your energy is calling you to reignite that passion and joy in your life. You know, what fuels you, right? And if you're hanging on to something that's not, it's like you're not going to be able to even control it. You're going to want something new. So you're going to snap out of it. Right. So you may feel like somebody's holding back, or you're just getting impatient with waiting for somebody, or you feel stuck. Now, the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups is also saying here, too, that you're looking for joy. You're looking for happiness. You may hang out with somebody this weekend. You may go find places to go. You may invite somebody over. You could even be stepping up in a relationship. So remember, if you're dealing with somebody and you're just not sure where it's going, but if you push at it and you have this conversation this weekend, it looks like it could lead to a more of a commitment too for you guys. So you'll know it's going to be black or white. It's going to be a yes or a no. I'm letting go, or we're moving forward this weekend. And I'm seeing some good times coming in. So this might even extend throughout the week, where you're seeing an event come in, you know, spending time, quality time with somebody, and you're seeing a relationship really take a step forward. Capricorn. All right, let's see for Capricorn this weekend. All right, Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. This weekend, let's see this weekend's energy. This is a very big weekend, all right? We have today the new moon. We have so many things going on, so I'm not going to stay here and go through the whole thing, but, you know, it seems to be Sunday, guys. Pay attention to Sunday. Seems to be the revelation day, you know, something happening, something that may surface, you know, home, family. You know, but the Six of Wands is showing up at the bottom here. The story, though, you're finally getting through something that's been ongoing or causing you a bunch of tension and conflict, right? You know, it's like it doesn't have to be so hard, but it just feels like, why does everything have to test me? Why is there so much pressure? Now, it could be the people around you. You know, you're having to step up above and lead the way. So a confrontation could be going on around home, family, love. You know, you've been dealing with a situation for a while, but it seems like you're starting to see the goalpost, and something you're doing or something you're saying, you're being appreciated this weekend too. So somebody may acknowledge or make some acknowledgement about you. And it could be in the public too. Somebody might actually even say something, you really standing out, and you know, getting that applause that you've been looking for, getting that victory you've been looking for, basically, you know, seeing the finish line of a situation that's been driving you crazy. Now I get the Page of Wands, I have the Star card, and I have the King of Swords. So we're seeing some flirty phone calls. Somebody desires you. Somebody desires to reach out to you. There's some flirtatious communication. I see the King of Swords. Somebody here, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. You also have a playful kid around you. That could also be a couple different people. Maybe you have a new relationship starting. Maybe you're just getting a lot of attention. The Six of Wands is telling me that you may be getting more attention than you think, because you can see that you're kind of stepping out. You're standing out above everybody else, right? And so somebody may be realizing, hey, you know, or they notice you. They're noticing you this weekend. You may receive the flirty phone calls, you know. So I do feel like this week, moving into this week, that things are going to get more about love and romance for you. And once you kind of get through this weekend, when it comes to any kind of confrontation, you're going to see that the weight is lifted, right? And this rest of the week, even though we're only doing the weekend, I'll give that to you on Sunday, is going to be a lot more fun for you. It's going to be a completely different energy. So any tower moment you're having, you're seeing the light. You're getting some wish that you've been wanting, and you have a person showing up for you this weekend with communication and truth, right? So they're being honest with you about something, and they're telling you something about the way they feel. Now, and this could even be a start to something new. For some of you, a new person. For some of you, the person that's on your mind. All right, you both kind of desire the same thing. All right, so I am seeing basically a happy resolution to some sort of conversation or situation you're dealing with, and you're able to now focus more on joy and having fun, and maybe even a date that is coming in for you. You know, so that could be that first invitation that you're getting this weekend. So my advice to you this weekend is, you know, you're finishing something up, okay? You're completing something this weekend. You're reaching the goal. And so now you have some new energy coming in for you that looks like it's around romance. And it's around creativity as well for some of you too. You might even just start something new, do something new that you haven't done before, because you're just ready for something new. There's been some space cleared. All right. Let's see. We have Aquarius. All right, my Aquarians. All right. Get a good shuffle for you. All right. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Aquarius is energy for the weekend. Aqua. All right. Aquarius, you're going to feel this energy because it's, you know, Uranus, all the stuff going on, but especially Uranus, restless energy, you know, new energy. You know something's up, right? You know something's up. So we're seeing the Six of Pentacles overall energy. So what's happening is that if anything's been off, anything financial, anything relational, if you've been not feeling supported, if you're giving so much of your time but not getting back your worth, all that good stuff, you're seeing a gift come in. You're seeing that part of your life is shaken up. So this weekend, you know, feeling more appreciated, feeling respected. You could even feel pretty generous and wanting to help other people out, but it's an equal give and take. But with that being said, if you're in a situation where it's just like draining you, you've got to speak your mind and say it. All right. There's no more waiting or wanting it or expecting somebody to read your mind. There's none of that this weekend. That's not going to happen in this, you know, for me, Aries energy and the Neptune, Saturn, we moved out of Pisces energy. Pisces was more about we're in our spiritual mind and we're thinking people connect to us and we're connecting in the spirit realm and we're telepathic and all this blah. Aquarius to me is more like, you know, I'm not reading your mind. Just let's speak it, say it, do it, right? Be clear. Let's go. Let's get it off our chest. Let's talk, right? And so there is no mind reading is what I'm feeling. Not saying that Aquarians can't be mind readers, right? You guys definitely are my talking heads in faith, but this isn't what it's about in a personal relationship. This is direct and to the point. If you've got something to say, you got to say it because you're only going to get it if you do it. If you want what you want, you have to be direct, not beat around the bush. But with that being said, my Scorpio side is saying if they're not going to after you directly say what you want, then you've got to do, you know, the King of Swords thing. Cut out. I ain't messing around with this anymore. All right, because you're moving into a whole new different terrain and you have so much more coming towards you. Now, look at this, your energy this week, the Two of Swords, the Four of Swords this weekend, and the Eight of Cups, all right? If something's not fulfilling you and it's up to you to make the ultimatum this week. Four of Swords, you're going through a complete reset. Something's not sitting well, or you're feeling overwhelmed about something. This is where you're making an important decision this weekend. Now, this doesn't mean that this is bad. This is saying the Six of Pentacles is saying your life, this is going to bring your life into balance. So if somebody respects you and it's worth it, they are going to show up for you, and you're going to see a lot of healing coming from this. Somebody making a choice. But if you and another partner, if no matter what offer they give you, it's not enough, you're going to feel it, and it might be difficult, but you may decide to go quiet on somebody, or pull away from somebody, or walk away from somebody. Now, if somebody keeps doing this to you, running away or walking away when times get tough, or, you know, they just come in when they feel like it, this is where too, the confusion, you're getting tired of it. So you are confronting a huge energy this weekend, and you may surprise yourself, because this conversation, this, you know, this sudden energy that comes through for you might happen when you least expect it. You might be saying to me now, no, I don't want to make a decision. But all of a sudden on Sunday or this weekend, something in you might go, nope, I'm done. We're moving on. And the space is being cleared for new to come in, if that's the case. Or you're evolving with your person, and now you have a direction, and it feels a lot safer when you get whatever it is you have to get off your chest. All right, let's see. $51. I think if somebody's meant to be in your life, I don't feel like if you had to say anything this weekend, I don't think you could burn a bridge. If it's that heavy that something has to be said, you know, that could burn a bridge, then that might be that you're done with it. Or somebody wakes up. That's how I see that. Pisces, let's see. All right, this energy. Let's see this weekend. We got so much changing for you, you know, with everything, leaving all that Pisces energy behind. You might be just trying to figure out who you are now. You know, that kind of been coming through for you too. I'm trying to figure out where you're at, and you're probably trying to figure out where you're at is too. You know, do I start a new relationship? Where's this going? You know, you have the Four of Wands here. You may be, you know, stepping back in, trying to find yourself, go back to your roots. You may be doing something with family, home, friends from your past, a celebration of some sort. You may be celebrating something, a change in your life. Maybe you've reached some milestone when it comes to something you've been doing for yourself, right? You've been working on something, whether for you it could be your finances, work, your self-worth, your body image, whatever it is that's been really weighing on you, right? You're shaking something off, and you're trying to create a new identity moving forward. So there's a good energy around you, and this feels like, you know, you are reaching a point where you can finally now maybe look back and say, I've made it through something, and now there's a clean slate. But again, this weekend, you may find yourself wanting to be home, or to just connect with people that feel like home to you. And I have the Ten of Pentacles, I have the Devil card, and I have the Two of Wands. So there's, you know, there's obviously options or plans here that you could have this weekend. Maybe you're kind of caught in the middle of, you know, you have the Devil here, and you have the Ten of Pentacles, right? Are you caught between family and friends? Are you caught between family and addiction? Are you dealing with somebody who's dealing with an addiction? Are there some you know, I want to go deep for you for a second. You might be closing up a huge wound that you've carried from family, ancestral wounds, family tradition. There could have been something going on with your family, a divorce, something that's going on that's been weighing heavy on you. It looks like this weekend you're confronting that as well. And it's going to be difficult, but it's also, you're moving in a new direction. So you're closing something up and you're leaving something behind. But at the same time, you're building something, and you're building this around family, home, and relationships. Now, there could be somebody that you deal with in a love relationship who you really want to be with, right? But they battle their own demons and addictions, right? And you feel torn at the same time, right? It could be weighing down on you as well. Somebody else's problems weighing down on you. And you may have to make a choice of how you're going to deal with this moving forward, because you can't fix everybody else's problems. There could be a devil showing up this weekend. So remember temptation, somebody that you're addicted to, somebody that's very lustful relationship, you know, you're very attached. These kind of things can come up this weekend. But either way, you have, you know, this doorway opening up for you. So we're seeing movement, you know, moving forward. But you also have a choice this weekend of where you put your energy. Do I want to get pulled into any kind of family drama? Do I want to get pulled into any kind of, you know, past shit that's not mine to deal with anymore? Or am I ready to go out and go do something different? All right, so very deep emotional weekend, possibly. You know, this can surface as, you know, finally a moment where you know who you are, and you're not who your family thinks you are, or you're not who people have said you are, or you're not who this person on your mind believes you to be. So you're making some sort of huge choice this weekend too, to kind of step out and go see what else is out there, stepping away from, you know, maybe family or family beliefs. All right. And look at the Four of Wands. Really, you could be going to an event. And also, if you are going to a family event this weekend, just know that something could come up because of, you know, drinking or doing anything, or, you know, maybe you're going to see family and you're the scapegoat. Who knows what it is, right? But you're dealing with this. Just know that you might be carrying that energy into your relationships and not realize it. All right. So you might notice that this weekend. And you may be giving somebody an ultimatum. I love you guys. So I've got a couple of you on Super Chat, so I'm just going to go through them. And if anybody wants to jump in, you can. But as soon as I am done, I am moving on. So I am going to put up the timestamps real quick on the video, just so people who want to see it can at least get the timestamps. All right. Let's see. All right. So I have Carissa. I have three. Randy. Actually, I have Carissa and Randy. All right. So again, I'm doing it this way because I'm not really wanting to do the whole 2.5 hour super chats anymore. And so this makes it easier. The more you guys catch on, if you want one on Monday and Fridays, you can always sign up, and you can even sign up the way you used to, like Carissa did through PayPal. I see Shar send something through Venmo. So I do see some of you coming through, but this is how I'm going to do it from now on, just because I have my membership, and membership is the second tier is going to be for questions. So I am changing things up a little bit to save my energy, you know, so I can give you guys the best readings. And I have, let's see, Sade. All right, let's do this. Feelings, thoughts, intentions. All right. So Carissa might not be in chat, so I'm gonna do her timestamp at 59. All right. That's awesome, Debbie. All right, Carissa, feelings, thoughts, intentions, actions towards you. Let's see what I get. All I ask is always be open to the unexpected, especially with the shifts that are happening right now. And you're a Gemini, Carissa. Uranus is going into Gemini, and I just, you know, this is gonna, it's gonna be trippy, I think, you know, because Uranus is so unpredictable. You'd be walking one way, and next thing you know, like you skip a timeline. You don't even know where the hell you're at. You're like, what the hell just happened? Or, you know, it looks like things are going one way, and then, you know, you could never even imagine the outcome. So in your mindset right now, honestly, for everybody, really just be open to, don't get so stuck on a certainty, like it has to be like this because it's been like this before. Because that's what the collective, we're being broken out of all these old ways of thinking, right? We're being taken out of that, where everything always seemed like it had to have a pattern or or a certain thing, a certain way. You know, we're breaking out of those old ways of thinking. So feelings, 2 of Wands. Thoughts, the Star card. See what I mean? Intentions, the Moon card, still uncertain. And any actions, the Tower card. Look at that, everything I just said. Let's see, the 2 of Wands, he's still hesitant. He's still not moving forward. All right, he still thinks about this. He's still got you on his mind. All right, Ace of Wands though, but he just won't make the move. He just won't make the move just yet. The Star card, you know, his thoughts, you know, very attractive. He sees the possibilities, always with the Star card. You have the Star and you have the Tower. All right, so it looks like, you know, maybe something will happen unpredictable with him. Some shakeup. This could be a shakeup at work. This could be a shakeup with another person. Something happens that brings you guys together. Something that goes on at work, you know, since that is the scenario that you're in, you know, that might crack open some truth. You may hear some truth and it might not be exactly what you think, especially with the Moon card here. You just have somebody, you have the Moon, the Star, and the Tower, and you have somebody here that gets in their own way, you know, very fearful, very nervous, very anxious about changing things. And it's not that they don't think you're super attractive. I mean, you're showing up in their thoughts as the Star card. You know, so this is going to turn out better than you think. It may take time with you guys because, you know, it could happen tomorrow. It could happen, you know, in months. I don't know. But it's like, right now, it seems as though he's keeping himself at bay. He may go back and forth. You know, he's intrigued by you, interested in you, thinks you're attractive. You definitely stand out. You definitely got a great aura about you, the Star card. But the 2 of Wands, let me get one more. And I see the Temperance card. He's in no rush to take action. You know, he may question. He sees it as an option. He sees you as an option in a good way. Not like, oh, just an option, right? But he's just kind of letting things play out. And to me, it feels like somebody who's very passive and who lets life happen to them rather than make it happen for themselves. So it could be just that he's at a crossroads and You're ready and he's not right now, right? But he will be the one, hopefully, to finally make connection with you. But his intentions are still uncertain. Things are changing for him right now. And the moon card is showing me that, you know, he's definitely has thought about this, but at the same time has talked himself out of it too. Any advice for you? The Chariot card. Stay focused and willful. I mean, look at the major. You have the Temperance card, the Chariot, the Moon, and the Tower. There's so much happening behind the scenes here on this situation, and there is still potential, but they're not in any kind of rush. But the Tower card's coming in. And the Tower card is going to shake something up. So again, to me, this feels like the most important thing. Maybe something, I don't want to ever wish somebody to lose a position or change a position or something, but there could be something that shakes him up, that wakes him up and gets him moving, that rattles his cage a little bit and gets him moving. And it could have to do with something that happens at work, that brings you guys together, talking about something, maybe something that gives you a reason to chat and talk. Somewhere you could be going somewhere, but I see movement, and you're being asked to stay focused. And, you know, like I said, where there's a will, there's a way. And with this energy, don't shut it down just yet, you know, because you're still kind of waiting. All right, let's see. Randy. What is it I don't see coming, and what should I expect? Hot girl summer. Yeah. You know that, though, there's been a huge thing, like, in the collective with guys not wanting to approach, and, you know, guys kind of shutting down and being more passive, and, you know, and then now a lot of women are complaining that they don't get approached. But at the same time, since COVID, you've been watching women harass men for all their approaches and all their attempts. And now you're seeing this dilemma. I watch too much social media because I'm on it. I just see, but you know, it's what we see. And now it's like guys giving up. A lot of guys giving up. Guys are real passive right now. Thank you, Kaiser. Yes, Kaiser, you can go ahead and get on in there. I'm taking them right now. All right, so Page of Pentacles. There's a new start. This always brings in a fresh start, whether it comes with job offers or new prospects if you're a business owner, new ways to make money if you're a business owner, learning something new, a contract, trying to figure something out, starting a new hobby, a practice that could bring you money, learning something new, being, you know, starting something completely different in your life that you've never done before. Could have something to do with crafts, physical fitness, health, whatever. And it also can be new prospects coming in, friends coming in, relationships coming in. So this is what you're not seeing coming, is there are opportunities opening up for you. But again, we have to be open for it too. I'm seeing the Hanged Man. You're kind of currently in this energy of the Hanged Man. And I see the Knight of Wands, though. So you see a huge shift. You're getting ready to leave this phase of the Hanged Man where you kind of feel stagnant and stuck and don't know which way to look. You can't really define. You don't know what to even think about, maybe. You're just kind of feeling stuck at times. It feels like nothing's changing. Well, get ready, because this fire energy shows new passion, shows a new person entering your life, shows even ambitious energy, very fiery energy, very confident energy, like you're ready to break out of this, and you have to do it yourself. You have to push yourself. You have to make that choice and go for it, right? And you're going to notice that your energy is quickly shifting. You have something that could be coming in unexpectedly that will really spark some joy. It activate a lot of fire within you. So fun, enjoyment, somewhere to put your energy, and chemistry, right? So it says you may be feeling kind of silent and stuck right now, but this could be your place, where we see it's shifting right now. So it could even be this week, coming in, but you needed this time to contemplate and reflect over your life, over your past, over how you got to where you're at. But you're almost done with this phase. I'm seeing the Three of Pentacles coming in, a collaboration, teamwork, effort, help. And I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles. So it looks like you could be teaming up or connecting with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You do look like you have new love, somebody who's got it together, somebody who's values themselves. This could be a new partnership too that you meet through something you do, connect, community, work. And I'm seeing some sort of support or help coming in. So what you don't see coming and what you should expect is for things to work out for you, and there's a partnership coming in. There's a feminine energy, somebody that you're very attracted to or will be very attracted to, somebody you have a lot in common with. So I'm seeing that maybe there's something around you community-wise or a situation that you're in, or you're starting something new that is connecting with another person, or another person that you already have support with, that you already connect to. You could be meeting somebody through that person. And I am seeing mother and I'm seeing child, and it could be somebody with children or somebody that works with children, or somebody that is starting younger than you, maybe just getting off their feet. So be comfortable with the stagnancy right now. I know it's uncomfortable, but the Hanged Man is talking, you're not the same person you were, and you're shifting into a completely new version of yourself, right? So there's a new person that's trying to enter your life. And that's what I got. Can somebody verify, did Capricorn cut out? If anybody's here. I can't check now. Somebody said Capricorn cut out, but you guys would have said something to me when I was doing Capricorn. Oh, okay. So it went Randy and now Cindy. And let's see. Cindy, is the dynamic that I'm in with David headed towards commitment? Let's see. All right. Well, you have the Devil card at the bottom of the deck, and you have the Emperor card. Ooh. What are you doing? This person's got a lot of control over you emotionally. And I don't know, like the Devil and the Emperor card can be somebody who can be very manipulative. The Eight of Swords, they leave you questioning things and they don't give you a lot of attention. Page of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, like you have a lot of doubt around this. I got you, Kaiser. They don't give you the effort that you're looking for. You're giving so much love to this person and you're dealing with somebody, I don't know, I don't like to use the word anymore. The Emperor and the Devil can be somebody who really lacks commitment, also can be controlling, can show up with some narcissistic qualities, self-centered, dramatic, manipulative at times. And we don't have to go to 100%, Cindy, right? But it's that kind of personality, likes to control the situation, stuck in their ways. And they're not pursuing this enough, and it's creating a lot of doubt for you. And it just feels like you already worry a lot because you don't get consistency with their effort. So is it headed towards commitment? King of Wands and Nine of Cups. I mean, I'd have to say yes. But it's going to take time and it's going to be inconsistent. So I will be fair with that. It seems like you're on their time. It seems like you give a lot to this and it's going to take a lot of patience and slowing down, because it seems if you push too much, they control the situation by pulling away. And they do they're looking at you, they're attracted to you. Maybe they're just somebody who is focused more on themselves right now, right? So they don't give you all the attention you need, so you're doubting it. But the Page of Pentacles is a learning stage. You guys are getting to know each other. You guys are figuring things out. But the pace of it is really stressing you out is what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing that with time, though, but, you know, you're talking about a slow start with the Page of Pentacles. But the King of Wands and Nine of Cups tells me that this could potentially lead to something. All right. So what should you do? The Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is asking you to, you know, first of all, decide, is this a challenge that you're willing to take? Is this something you want? And so defending your stance, you got to speak up and say what you need. You know, be clear with them what you need and what you want, and see if they're on the same page. But also you're being asked to create some sort of boundaries, whether that's with the way you are worried about this person or what you expect from this person. or if you're able to not let your anxieties get to you and let this play out. Because the Seven of Wands says there's challenges here, but there's potential for you guys to make it work. All right. So that's what I have. But I do see that you're struggling with the consistency and the pace of this, which means the only way it really could move or, you know, really get to the truth is to confront it. And be okay with the pace of it, because it could take time. All right. I will have the timestamp up for the first one, but I'll have your names so that you guys know where you are on the list. All right, let's see. Sade. All right, what do you say? All right, so you feel a big benefactor coming in. What do you need to know? Let's see. Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Yes, I do see somebody with earthy qualities, money, but you're so release the worry about it. You're wanting it, you may be feeling it coming in, but it could take a little bit longer than you think. All right. Thank you, Angel. All right. So don't let it disappoint you. Stop worrying about it is what I'm getting for you. Stop worrying about it. Not that you're worried, you feel it. I see you feel a big benefactor. You're feeling the right thing. It's showing me the Seven of Pentacles and it's showing me the Knight of Pentacles. It might not be like the $10 billion lottery. I wish it was, and I hope it is. And I'm not going to say it won't be. There's always possibilities. But what I'm seeing is it's something worth the wait, and it also is worth your investment. But the Seven of Pentacles says that, you know, you still got a little bit of time here, so a little bit of patience. You may be getting ahead of yourself and you could be worried about things, but I am just hearing, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. All right, even with the Four of Cups here, you're just wanting it so bad right now that you might be getting ahead of yourself, right? So you are seeing it right here. The Knight of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. All right, something is going to change your life in a new direction. All right. All right. Home Towers, did you pay through a super chat, or I don't know I don't know what your name is. I have Kaiser and Jen. So I have Kaiser and Jen. So let me see, put your name up here. All right. What are Erica Pisces' true current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards you, Scorpio? All right, let's see. Unless you're under a different name, poem. No, that's not the idea here. Sorry. I give enough free readings. Come on. Let's see. Kaiser. All right, let's go. What are Erica Pisces' true current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards me? Yeah. All right, let's see. Looking at Pisces. King of Swords, bottom of the deck. Let's see. 9 of Wands. 9 of Swords. And the Page of Swords. She got something she wants to say. She definitely wants, something's weighing on her right now. Maybe she feels like she has to say something to you. This whole weekend, and this week coming up is going to be a lot of saying what we need to say, and somebody saying to us, and, you know, conversations being had that, you know, we've been needing to have. And it looks like she carries a lot of worry about what you might say about something, or I don't know if you guys have struggled with something in the past, or she's struggling with something, but she really does have an energy about her, like something is really weighing on her, and that's what's holding her back from saying anything. Can you give me a little bit more? The Ace of Wands. It may not be anything personal with you, but it does feel like she wants to get something started with you. Maybe there is a little bit of regret with something that went down between the two of you, or she didn't tell you the truth about something, or she made a choice, or there was some sort of pushing you away. Something created her to step back a little bit, and she needed to clear her head. But it looks like if you don't hear from her right away, looks like that conversation is coming in, and it's going to light things back up. So it looks pretty positive. It goes from kind of heavy to positive. You know, you even have the 8 of Pentacles, and you have the 7 of Cups. Looks to me like she wants to give this a go. She really wants to make it work. She does have a hard time staying committed. You know, there's always this fear of missing out, but it looks like it may be finally reaching a breaking point for her. She knows she's got to choose because she's not happy about something. She's an avoidant, and she avoids commitment. She may be wishing or fantasizing for some miracle or magic to happen. And maybe she's facing reality now. And it looks like you're somebody that understands her and somebody that she wants to talk to and connect with. So I am seeing a new start here. What does Spirit think you should do? 7 of Wands. You know, this is big. This is, you know, Scorpio reading today was, you know, we get convicted in our belief systems. We're very strong in our belief systems. And then when people try to question our belief systems, you know, it's like, it's hard for us to let go and see maybe a different version of it when we feel convicted in something. Because we could put all our energy, it's all or nothing, right, with Scorpio. So for you, it is, you know, prepare, you know, but maybe let down your guards a little bit and see what she has to say. You may be guarded and defensive, and she may feel at times overpowered by you. Because sometimes maybe you're direct, really direct with her, and but you are being asked to defend yourself and stay true to your boundaries. Even if somebody does come back around and she does regret it, or, you know, even if she is in this energy of uncertainty, she still lacks commitment and follow through. She has expectations like in dreamland at times, you know, like something magical is going to happen or something better is going to come in or whatever, but it's not making her happy. So I am seeing that you really do have to kind of ground yourself and confront this situation. Make sure you keep your boundaries intact. And that's what I have for you. All right. See, we have Jen. And then I'm going to close up. All right, not too shabby. So, Jen, let's see. Does he see something in me he hasn't seen in anyone else? All right. Are you different than... Does he see something different in you? All right. Oh, moon. Yeah, let's see what's going on. The Two of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles. And the Page of Swords. Yes, very, he questions you. He questions your compatibility. You are different than... That could be why it's moving kind of slow. He's curious about you. The Moon card. The more he gets to know, the more he's around you, the more he sees you. Things are changing between you guys constantly. So you have so much fluctuation here. You have so much going on that it's going to be very hard for you to read into this situation, because things will change from day to day. Their mood will change from day to day. But there's something about you that keeps them curious. They're trying to figure out, because there's something that draws them to you, and yet there's something that they feel that you guys are not compatible. You are totally different than anybody else. So usually that's when relationships, they take their time, but actually really work out, you know? It's something you're doing. But the Moon card says things are still uncertain and they're still kind of moving. So it's easy for you to read into it and maybe get caught up in, you know, fears, or they're moving away, or they're not interested. But you can see right here that they clearly are questioning you, questioning everything about this. And the more things play out, the progress is happening here. They're getting more and more and more invested in you. Things are still kind of up in the air, but we're seeing here that some of those questions you have could get answered sooner than later. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, everybody. And I will see you guys on Sunday and Monday. Take care.